Oh, mama. What was that? That's Queen, right? Oh, mama. I shot a guy and now I'm going to jail.
No, that's
right?
me. Oh, mama.
Oh,
Yeah.
mama. Oh, mama. How is mama between the hangover and the Bills loss and just life in general? Today a better day. The sun came up.
A lot on her plate right now.
Is that right?
What's that Black Monday that we just had? The darkest,
weird.
most miserable
it's weird
day
in my house, though. My kids have basically told her they're not going to school.
Really? How's that go over? Because I know you're such an advocate for education.
Well, they're downstairs at the moment, so apparently.
Yeah. How does that? Walk us through that kind of role play. I'll be the parent.
You can be the show.
I don't want to put anybody in. I don't want to put her or Red in a bet. Just a parent, and you be a kid. Okay, guys, let's get going because the bus is going to be here. We gotta head off here in like 5 minutes. All right, you guys ready to go? Well, guys, we gotta leave. 5 minutes. We're out the door. We're going.
It's still silence because they haven't woke up. They're still.
Oh.
What?
You're talking to yourself still.
Guys, get up.
Guys, wake up.
My middle guy, the middle kid today, I went to get him, and he wasn't in his bed. I'm like,
he's just watching TV in the basement.
He's ready to go. No, he's not walking around. This is odd. Finally, I find him hiding in the bathtub with the curtain drawn, because he's hiding and thinks if I don't find him, no school.
It's kind of right.
And I was going to say he was kind of bang on then, I guess.
He
he got found, then he still didn't even have to go to school. That's a hell of an idea.
Actually, that kid went to school.
I was going to say now we could do another role play. I'll be the principal or the person at the school, and I'm calling a parent in the. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Warner. It's Jim McGillicuddy from St. Augustine High. Just noticing we're two of your two boys, or let's say three, because somehow oddly they don't go to the same school. Okay, so two boys. We're seeing that both Phineas and Augustus aren't in class today. Just wondering if everything's okay.
Jimbo and Billy Bob haven't attended in almost a month now. They've learned that sickness can get you out of anything. And they're living it up.
Okay, right. So
Mr. Warner, are they playing hockey or is it just school there?
When might we expect them? We hope everything's okay. Just wondering when we can.
Mr. McGillicuddy, did the check bounce? Or did
let me see here. No, you faxed it in. You did fax it in. We've got record of it here. You are a delinquent in some areas of your life. That's been noted, but no, it seems like there has been a fax. So
I appreciate your call, and we'll
go F myself
real soon.
Right.
We should add Mr. McGillicuddy to the Rhetts debts segment, or no? Guess not.
Just payments in arrears.
This McGillicuddy's a real idiot.
So then you must be doing a lot there at home.
That was the threat the threat that I just heard, was that if you don't go, then you're going to sit right here for the rest of the day and finish all the homework you missed. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see who wins this battle, this epic battle.
My money's on the kids. They seems like we got a lot of leverage here.
It does feel like they've got some sway, and it feels like maybe there's not a lot of pushback. It's like, fuck it.
We need Betway to get involved here and get us some odds and some numbers on this.
Check the app. Maybe it is on there.
Yeah, it's about plus 300. That kid actually sits still all day and does homework.
Yeah. No, I see it. I see it, but they've taken it off the board. They've taken it off the board.
Yeah, too much money coming in on not doing the homework.
Smart money.
They're adjusting the odds.
Fellas, it is a game day. Get your helmets on. The Calgary Flames are taking on the St. Louis Blues at the Canadian Airlines Saddledome tonight.
Pengrowth Saddledome.
The Pengrowth Saddledome tonight, as the Blues come into town looking to once again beat the Flames as they did back on October what's it. Horrible game.
3-0.
I mean, St. Louis looked like a superstar squad.
I was going to say the Blues fans love that game. What are you talking about, Dean?
Yeah.
Said it was a great game.
Parayko's folks probably kicking around, aren't they, from this neck of the woods?
Kasperi Kapanen, Nick Leddy scoring the goals. Kapanen shorthanded, and then a Sundqvist into an empty net for the 3-0 final.
What were the shots, Dean? You got the shots there?
I do. It was 35-27 in favor of the Blues.
I thought it'd be worse.
Although I would think if you go and maybe look at some quick highlights, or if there's maybe one of those, what is it, Ryan? The heat graph, the hot box.
The heat map, yeah.
Yeah, the hot box heat map. I'm curious to see where of those 27 shots they were taken. The number of high danger chances, because I seem to recall not much of either as far as quality or danger.
I honestly remember that game because I was like, geez, this St. Louis squad is really good. Look at them move the puck. They are zipping it around. The Flames can't even get to it.
No, they could not. That's right.
They were awful. And it was funny because they had that 5-game road trip almost straight out of the gate. They opened against Winnipeg. They hit the road for 5 against teams that we don't still know if they're good or not. It was the Pittsburgh, Washington, Detroit, that whole swing.
Buffalo.
Right? Then they come home, tired, road weary, play their asses off, lose to a better team in the Rangers. And it was a good effort. But hey, you tip your cap. It's Kreider, Panarin, Fox, Shesterkin finally played well against the Flames for the first time in his career. Zibanejad and company. You're like, hey, you tip your cap. Then they just came out and sleepwalked their way through the second and final game of that homestand, if I'm correct, against the Blues.
Okay.
Where?
I was going to say, is there similarities to this matchup tonight?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. They just played a very talented team, and there'd be all kinds of moral victories in there if they wanted them.
Walk us through it, Rhett.
The game was on the other side of that St. Louis contest, if I'm correct, too. So that was probably a bit of a, what are we going to wear?
I don't know if it was the next one, but it was around there.
This is game 4 of the 6-game homestand. You've had 2 emotional games against Toronto and Edmonton. Is this a letdown spot? You've been at home for a while. You're now real cozy.
I believe it is. I believe this whole week is a letdown spot, and it'll say something about them if they can be focused and ready.
And it's not like going into Chicago. This is a team that's better than the Flames. Through over half a season, they're better at a lot of things. Not a lot, but it's a team in the same box. If you are not thinking it's going to take anything but your best effort to get 2 points here, I think you're wrong. St. Louis has got a better points percentage. They're 1 back with 2 games in hand. They've been above the Flames in the standings almost all year.
Fired the coach in the belief that they're a playoff team and they're
healthier than you are. It's
are they healthier?
They're only missing Kapanen. Anyone else?
Who are the Flames missing?
Well, I'd say Pelche, Rooney, Shillington, Dubé.
Rooney.
Just say Rooney.
I mean, Rooney.
I write down all the guys that are dead. He was on.
You maybe want to. So they're really not a lot healthier.
Oh, Shillington wouldn't matter right now. I mean, you don't. It might not be injury, but yeah, like. See my point.
Haven't had Shillington. No, they haven't had Shillington for a year and a half. I would say that. Anyway, whatever. It's this one does feel a little bit, because I was looking this morning. The St. Louis Blues, as far as the road, in their last 10 road games, they are 3-7. Just 1 of the 3 wins coming in regulation.
Overtime.
Do not expect a power play showcase tonight.
Good Lord, it's awful.
Because almost equally as awful as the Flames are the St. Louis Blues, they have an identical. They have an identical percentage.
13.8.
13.8.
Barf.
The Blues have scored 18 power play goals. The Flames have 20. So the Blues are 28th and the Flames are 29th. The road power
Flames
play
do have an
for
edge in
St. Louis.
special teams. They got a top 5 penalty kill, and the Blues.
They do, yes. Yeah, that's right. But the road power play for St. Louis, 31st. Home power play, for the Flames is 32nd. And
Wow.
again, I'll say this, and you know what, Ryan, I'll put you on the spot.
Yeah.
I know the Flames do have more. They're scoring more than St. Louis. Where does
Yeah.
St. Louis rank in overall goals for in the National Hockey League?
I'd say like
we talked about this
or something like that.
We asked last week, Flames middle of the pack. So then why would their power play be dead last or near the bottom? Would stand to reason that, okay, you have offensive ability. Why does it not translate to when you have an extra man on the
5-on-5
ice?
for sure.
Yeah. So if you were going to your Betway app and looking at a whole bunch of power play goals, probably pays a fair bit, or at least it should.
And if it doesn't, go the other way.
Go the other way.
Under 0.5 power play goals.
Do you recall situations like this, Retro, where I guess let me ask you this. What's the sweet spot for a homestand? Number of games where you're rested and you're feeling good. And then right after that, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty and just pounding farts into my recliner here. We should probably get up and get going.
I think probably 4.
4-game homestand?
Yeah.
That's tonight. That's 4th.
If tonight was the last one, I think he'd be all right.
How's your internet?
I think 4 or 5. It's terrible. You guys are completely frozen. I can't even, the wheel of death is on my screen.
Yeah, well, you sound great, Rhett. That's the good news.
You sound okay. Yeah, you're frozen for us.
So if I shut it off, it's okay?
Well, it's
he looks
we are doing
doesn't he? It's very deep in thought there.
I don't feel like going to school, so
yeah.
What do we pay each show? Can we knock off a day's pay? And
there's a video. Yeah, there is that video component to this thing. We know it's probably got all those kids speaking of Call of Duty. They're probably in the basement just crushing some COD right now.
Maybe some. Well, there you go. I see you guys. Now you're moving.
Oh yeah,
the screen went just a stark white, and look at that. Now we're back.
Now you're back. There you are. 4 games is the sweet spot. That seems about right.
I think so.
The first one is the first game back, and that's no good. The second one, well, now we can't drop another one because we're at home.
Wait, now the first one back can be okay as long as you haven't been gone for too long.
Okay, what's the sweet spot there?
2 games.
2-game road trip.
You can go away for 2 and come back without the dreaded first game back.
They had a 2-gamer as well. It was the Phoenix Vegas. That's 2 games. No wonder they were so good when they came back.
I feel like there's not many of those. Is there? The old 2-game.
They literally just had a 2-game zip before this.
I understand. So how many have they had? Why are you up my arse today? What's going on?
I would say this. I would say in the East, there's a lot more 2-game zips than the West. But they still happen.
Pittsburgh back home.
You get some of those in Western Canada, or you'll do a Vancouver, Seattle, maybe. Yeah, Winnipeg, Manitoba, and then Minnesota.
Listen, life's not perfect. I'm just giving you if it was, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Too bad it's not perfect, eh?
Well, the Flames have lost 2 in a row, so they are due. They won 4 in a row prior. They can do this. They've shown that they can win hockey games. Do you think that would there be any part of the coaches that would say, listen, do you guys remember what happened last time these guys were here? You guys were dog shirt? Or does that come up? It was so long ago.
I think it'd be more along the lines of, I'm going off my memory because I didn't look today what the standings say. I think it'd be more along the lines of, we're trying to catch these guys.
Yeah, I think it's all about, fellas, this is a team we're competing with for a wild card. This is a massive 4-point game.
4-pointer.
Who? A proverbial 4-pointer.
Oh, they aren't trying to catch them. They're trying to catch us. We got to keep the distance.
No, look at the points percentage. We're definitely seeing the Flames below the Blues.
Yeah. Flames have played in.
When can I stop looking at the percentage? Never?
No, if they cancel the season today and they start the playoffs, they're going by points percentage. In the history of the league, they've never not gone by points percentage. It's idiotic that they sort by anything but points percentage.
I think he's feisty today, Dean. I think he's got
it is.
It's the second 2-game road trip of the season they just returned from. I checked that for you.
Great. I'm so glad that you would go and do that. Yeah, clearly we are. Yeah, clearly we are. Ryan, why don't you take over? I'm going to just kick back and you drive the bus here for a few minutes and get in what we need to get in. Just get some stuff off your chest.
What do we know about the Blues, boys? Is it going to be Binnington or Joel Hofer, whoever the hell that guy was?
I don't know who Joel Hofer is. What?
Oh, Joel Hofer.
Where's
Is he doing
Joel
a bit of
Hofer
butter
from?
churning out there? So I got, would you guys like to try some of these muffins? Joel Hofer. I bet it's Binnington. They, 3 games ago, they've had, or 3 days off. He had the shutout last time.
So Binnington's coming off a shutout, you're saying?
Are we, again, I have no clue because I haven't looked at it, but is he bouncing back?
Shutout against the Flames last time they played is what I was.
No. I'm talking about Binnington in general, though. Like he's the number one. Like they were after they win the cup, a year or two there where it looked like, oh, he maybe had that hot run, and maybe he's not all that he's cracked up to be. But is he playing?
He's been okay, I would suggest.
Just okay. Yeah.
He's probably a middle 10 starting goalie in the league at best.
Still likes to kind of fight.
Fight guy.
Put him up.
They beat Washington 3-0 on the 20th, so whatever day that was. And I believe
so you got one guy that shut out the Flames last time the Flames played this team, and the other guy got a shutout against a different team the last time he played. I mean, there's nothing but options here for
such a great
new head coaches.
Forever that coach is that they
Bannister or whatever.
Who is their coach?
Drew Bannister.
Huh. Didn't he manage the Texas Rangers when the bat flip game?
Yeah,
wasn't that who that was?
Yeah. And then he got
that's why
same
guy.
That's why he's in hockey now because they kicked him up.
Yeah.
Springfield. He was in Springfield. I interviewed with him.
Did you?
To be a Falcon? Are they still the Springfield Falcons?
I believe they are the Falcons. Yes, indeed.
Not the
Old
Thunderbirds.
Tampa Bay Lightning player, isn't he? Played with the big human.
Is that right? Wow. How do you say now? I have to be very conscious of how I say that name, because I've said it another way, like basically my whole life, and then I've had people, what did you call it? What is it? The Falcons. For me, naturally, I have until just a few years ago called them the Falcons.
I still do.
It's like the what?
Potato.
The Springfield Falcons.
What about
Falcons.
batteries?
So I have to when I know I'm going to say that, like the Millennium Falcon. Feels weird to me.
Yeah, but you screw up pasta and pasta all the time too.
On Saturday, yeah.
Okay. Let's pile on. Is there anything else going on today we can, like, holy shit?
I think
pasta. I say Saturday wrong.
Do you?
You nailed it. I guess
there. Wow. You're the only one that tells me this. You're the only one that's ever said it in my life.
The only word that I've like.
I say Saturday wrong.
You just said it great. What's wrong with your Saturday? How do you screw up Saturday?
Saturday. It's the only way I say it. Saturday. This is all I do. Every Saturday I say it's Saturday.
We need that Pickle Fest read so I can really point it out.
So,
kidding. Settle down. He's gone.
We've lost him. Well, we should just get to the. Well, did we do our opening statement? Did we do that?
No, that's after games. We do that. We'll do that tomorrow morning, Rhetts. There'll be Afterburner tonight. Dean will be excited to know that he'll be spending some quality time with me at the Grey Eagle Casino.
I say you both do a couple shots and get right into it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we might need it. It looks like the last game we saw between these two teams, shots might not be enough.
Yeah.
It was like paint drying last time for the Flames, at least.
So, they were terrible.
They were. So we got what? All-Star break is 3 games away. When is your mind wandering? When are you booking your travel to Aruba with the whole crew?
The better you're doing, the less your mind wanders. Know what I mean?
Okay.
Right? And it's true. Like if you're completely out of it, like Ottawa or probably the Sabres, you can pretend that you're going to make the playoffs if you're the Sabres, but you're not.
Yeah.
I think those are the teams that are going, so where are we headed? How many days can we go away? We're going to stay on the eastern seaboard or go all the way down to LA?
Yeah.
Right? Like
I feel like if they drop this one and it's not pretty, that's when we see some wandering for the Flames. But I would hope you get a much more invested group this time around. It does feel like, hey, you wanted a split for sure out of those good teams. You could still win this homestand. But a loss tonight really is like, okay, the best you can do is 500 now. Wah, wah. And now the gap between you and that wild card continues to grow. And you're going to sit on vacation and think about that gap for 10 days.
Wow, and you're going to lose. I don't know what this
Boston,
team
New York
believes.
stuff after.
I don't
They
know what
believe
this-
right now. Yeah. But how much longer? I don't know. Hi, Dean. Sorry.
Bob Thomas leads them in goals and points. Old Robert Thomas there. I was kind of going back to when Matthew Tkachuk was traded. St. Louis was kind of St. Louis. He wants to go back home. He wants to be in St. Louis, of course. And Jordan Kyrou's name was in that rumor mill. Whether or not that's fact, but would stand to be a potential there. Kyrou, 12 goals, 33 points in 44 games. It's not too shabby, but I wonder, is this a bad year? Did he maybe come out of the gates flying as a younger player and is now, because it seemed like because remember, he and the old coach maybe got at it. He was asked about the old, are you sad to see the coach go? He's, it's the old
not my coach anymore.
It's not my coach. I don't need to talk about him. So maybe he and Berube had some of this going. You know what I mean? Some of this.
Well, he's not the only guy. I feel the same way about Colton Parayko. Was he not on some sort of trajectory to being a really, really elite defenseman, and now he's just sort of turned into a guy there?
Well, he's big. And yeah, I would think probably, again,
whether be a top pair guy.
His numbers would probably have been better.
Yeah.
Just a guess. Numbers are there. Coach says, listen, we need you to play better defense. You're big. You're come on now. He's like, well, screw you. I like points. I like getting points, Pud. So I don't know what the Blues are. I didn't know who their coach was till about 10 minutes ago. But Kyrou, I thought this guy is a star in the making. So curious to see what's going on there. Jake Neighbors, the Calgary kid, second on the team in goals. He's got 14 goals in 44 games.
That's second in scoring on the team.
Tis.
That probably tells you a bit about the Blues, doesn't it?
I would say it's a committee deal.
It is by committee
Flames in a lot of ways.
It's by committee, but lower scoring. They're one of the lower scoring teams. So it's Neighbors with 14. They got Kyrou with 12, Buchnevich 13, 10 for Hayes. Kevin Hayes is there now.
So what's St. Louis' goal? To make the playoffs? Or are they?
They are on
the coach. It says yes. I mean, I think the GM thinks yes, but I think realistically they got to find some more young pieces here.
Do they still get the benefit of the doubt, being that they won a Stanley Cup and now
they're on
the down slope? Or is that no, that was far enough away, like you say, that they've moved a lot of pieces out?
Wow. The other part of that was that it was an amazing run to get it. It's not like they built it up and were top of the food chain for a decade and finally won, right? Do you know what I mean? And so they went like this and kind of came right
that's
back
the badge.
around.
That's the badge they'll wear forever, right? That team that they were dead last in January and then
no one's ever going
on
to
the
do that
ultimate
again.
heater and won the cup. Well, Rhett, we'll find out tonight what a game it's going to be at the old Pengrowth Saddledome as the Blues come to town to take on the Calgary Flames.
All kinds of free plugs for Pengrowth.
Yeah.
What a day.
Do we know look, wonder how long he's been sitting there. I just noticed him. Do we have any word on the goaltending? We said just a minute ago we didn't know whether it be Hofer or Binnington. Do we know what's going on in the Calgary net as of yet? Yeah.
They'll skate after Calgary, won't they? So
yes.
Their news will be later.
Calgary, though, do we know?
I'm scanning.
Okay.
Not seeing anything yet.
Because it's early. It's early, but not so early
that
we can't spend some time with our NHL Insider. That's right. Joining us on the Insider Hotline, which is a presentation of TELUS. Enter to win one of 6 monthly prizes, including tickets to Calgary hockey games, awesome tech like AirPods, Apple Watches, and more. No purchase necessary. All you have to do is fill out a quick survey to enter. For your chance to win, go online, TELUS.com/Flames contest for TELUS and the TELUS Insider Hotline. There he is, Frank Seravalli, Daily Faceoff, dailyfaceoff.com, Daily Faceoff Live, Daily the DFO
rundown, TFO, Ice Type DFO,
Uncensored. Yep.
DFO after dark. DFO.
How we doing, fella? You're back home. Does it feel good to be home, sleep in your own bed?
Daddy Daily Face Off is back.
Yeah.
No, everyone was saying, "How are you sore from pond hockey?" I'm like, no, I'm sore from the 3 a.m. Pinder vortex 2 nights in a row.
It's a liver damage. It's not shins or hammies or groins.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, I don't know if you ended up playing against them, but how about those plugs that wore shin pads for the pond hockey and then would stand in front of the net and block shots? Like, bud, you're actually missing the point of this.
And then the organizer from the side is no goaltending. There's no goaltending.
He kept being like, no goaltending. No. They were also the team that was shooting from distance. Like you actually need to carry the puck up the ice.
Yeah, that was
a lot of chiselers out there, Rhett. A lot of chintzy chiselers out there.
I mean, so Pinder like kind of falls into that category though. He is pond hockey hardo, and
we had to beat Oilers Nation. That's all that mattered.
Hey, look, I played against you on Friday night, and Jay Rosehill wanted to actually fight you.
I know. Yeah, that's how that works.
I can't believe you backed down.
Well, it's a non-contact tournament. I mean, they were very short-staffed. Jay couldn't risk it. Yeah,
can't believe Jay backed down. Pinder was ready to go, but Rosehill chickened out.
You two are made for each other in so many ways with your Department of Discipline show, and both of you are just absolute wild cards as soon as you step off of the ice.
We had a good time. We knew each other fairly well, but now it's like
retro.
Love that guy.
Whatever, peas in a pod, birds in the bush, whatever. Because at one time on Saturday, did I say it right? I look around. Okay, so where's Pinder? Because we got to do this. He was here a minute ago. Wait, where's Rosehill? Oh boy, yeah. So they're off doing God knows what. Except I know exactly what they're doing. So yes, thick as thieves, you could say.
Nothing sinister. We hammered some poutine in the lobby.
Sure you did.
Yeah,
sure you did.
You were hammering something else from nature in the hot tub.
Please.
Frank, would like Pinder doesn't play beer league, but if he did, how many games would he get in before he was attacked?
I played up until COVID, Rhett, and I have not played since, to be fair.
And well, the best part was
almost every year.
Rosie hadn't played any hockey in 4 years before he showed up to pond hockey. And he was actually, I mean, I know that he played in the NHL, but he was actually like pretty damn good.
Full in a China shop up and down the wings, eh?
Yeah.
Probably had a lot of room.
Well, that's the thing. They're small ice.
There's no room.
There's no room. You got.
And he was like every time he would take it and kind of like he'd go to the net, but he'd cut back and then sort of like muscle you into the net, and it was great.
It's built for 3-on-3, but they play 4-on-4. If they did 3-on-3 on these ice,
I just meant with his name that people were kind of.
He downloads it though. Hey, he's not coming out there with name bars. He's pretty good that way. But
it's actually pretty funny. Like of all the people there, like you guys had Tyler Moss and I forget the guy's name from Montreal that's won 5 Stanley Cups. He was there. Like no one, like you'd have no idea like who some of these people are. Like I've never heard anyone be like, oh my God, that's Jay Rosehill. He played in the NHL. Like it's not like that.
Yeah. I do worry about Ryan though in beer league because here the feel is it's all for fun. And then 2 of the games, one against the Oilers and one against you guys, we're coworkers. We know each other. So there's not going to be, you would hope, fisticuffs. But if you're in beer league and no one knows who anyone is, and you're in full gear, and if Ryan is hockey hardo, is that what you
yeah, pond hockey hardo?
I do worry that Ryan would run afoul of the other team a little bit more.
But I'm not cheap. I'm just skating. That's my only tool, right? Like I can't stick handle.
It's not that you skate. It's that you don't have an off switch. Like we're out here just dicking around and you want to jam your stick up.
But in league, that's totally fine. That's my whole point is like that's where people who try and care are still doing things. They're playing against men at age 42. You're like,
hey, listen, hey, Frank,
or anything.
He's a hardo, but you know what else he is? A champion.
He let everyone know. And I just want to let everyone know that I also contributed to the win.
Please explain.
Yeah.
So we had to settle it through a couple games of Flip Cup because we said, you know what? no one really feels like playing Sunday. So we're going to go Oilers Nation against Flames Nation for the championship at the Flip Cup table. And they needed some help. So they called in me, who it's the one area that I can actually contribute on a way to a championship. And I helped. I had a, couple tense moments, but put it together.
No, we needed you because RJ and Jack wussed out and went home to sleep. So,
It's true. Tried to start with the Eagles on Friday. Nowhere to be seen on Saturday. Huh?
Yeah.
Look, I suck at a lot of things, but I can drink a beer.
And order pizza. That is now also your trademark. Because last year, Frank orders a dozen wheels that show up at like 1 a.m. Everybody's perfect. Frank. He's standing next to me on Saturday. He's like, I guess I gotta order pizza because that's kind of the thing. And then in they come again.
Yep, 6 cheese pizzas delivered right to the door at 1:45 in the morning.
God, was that perfect?
Hey,
well, it was good to see you, Frank, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Can I go now?
No. I actually, you know what, Pinder, I got to see the legend at work. We're leaving Jasper. We leave the lodge, and as we're packing up all of our stuff, the texts are coming through. Corey Perry to the Oilers. Corey Perry. What? Corey Perry. Is it confirmed? Well, no, it's not confirmed. So this guy gets on the blower, starts making calls, gets a call back from a very legit, like we're talking. There's not much of a better source at the end of the day. And he's asking the questions, and he's like, there's no notes. It's
wanted to know. I actually wanted to know all about pond hockey.
Yeah. Yeah. So enough about Corey Perry. How big are the sheets of ice? Like, is it?
He was like, that lodge is supposed to be really nice there. And how was the weather? And I was like, just give me the deets? Like, is it league minimum or what? Like, what's happening?
Wait a minute. You were playing Flip Cup? Oh, geez, I love Flip Cup. But no, I got on the phone. He's asking the questions. All right, so this and that, I watched the insider go to work and then get going with Twitter and the tweet and everything else. It's not that you broke the story, because obviously the rumor was out there, but you had the details from one of the closest sources in the deal.
Sort of how it works. A little behind the scenes magic for you. A little Daddy Daily Face Off After Dark.
So give us your thoughts on it. When we were there, we were talking to the Oilers Nation boys. We did the hot stove, their pregame show, and their goaltending seems to have corrected itself. You'd love to still have maybe a right shot D or some depth on the blue line, but bottom six, I think they said scoring. Now, Corey Perry will be a bottom six guy. Is he coming in to be a scorer, or is it leadership, or is it to be a jerk? And because it's probably all of the above. I just wonder, offensively, can you count on Corey Perry to make a dent for the Oilers?
I think he can. They asked me yesterday, what kind of pace could we expect Corey Perry to, how many goals will he score over the final 40 games of the year? And my answer is like 11 or 12. I think you can pencil him in for 20 over a full year. And that's sort of the pace that he was scoring. He was on track for 50 plus points to start this year with the Blackhawks. And look, different team, missed a bunch of time. I understand all of that. And it's not so much the offensive production that matters. I think all those other intangibles, it's not just leadership. It's, I think the Oilers desperately needed a different element in their bottom six. They get that with someone who's certainly not afraid to play like Pinder does in pond hockey and stick you in the face in front of the net. And that's sort of where they're at with their addition, that I can't really, especially without giving up any assets to do it, I can't really envision a better fit for a free, so to speak, player to add to your team.
Yeah. Also, a guy you can throw net front on a power play in theory.
I was going to say, is it crazy to think he could go on that top power play and be a nuisance and have it work?
Not at all. And then if not, he's certainly going to be on your second unit and making that better. So we did say bottom six, but I can also envision them giving him a trial run at 2 right wing to see if he can be a guy that feeds Draisaitl pucks.
So I know when Evander Kane came in there was some thought, and there was even stuff written that you don't want Evander Kane in here. This is potentially an unsavory human. and the
Still
character
is,
issues
in
and
fact.
that.
I can confirm.
Yeah. So some people would paint Corey Perry with this brush, being that he was terminated by the Hawks. Is that fair? A fair characterization?
Well, I mean, I did make the joke. If there was any concern about the Oilers and bringing in Corey Perry character-wise, which I've known him for a while and I can personally vouch for him. He's Connor McDavid, I think, said it best yesterday. He's the kind of guy you hate playing against, but love to have on your team. He's super serious. He's actually a really shy human being, off the ice. He doesn't love the attention, doesn't love the spotlight, isn't a loud yapper or talker, likes to chirp, likes to have fun, likes to be around the young guys and all that. But when he shows up to the rink, it's business, and it's a far cry, totally different thing than what happened with Evander Kane. But I had made the joke, well, you went out and got Kane. If there were any questions lingering since then, I mean, what's adding Corey Perry to the mix after what happened or what didn't happen in Chicago? I think you got to be clear as to what you are as an organization, because there's so many that sit out there and are holier than thou. Oh, we would never do that. That's not a player that we'd want in our organization. Well, what are you exactly? Are you trying to win a Stanley Cup, or do you want a collection of nice guys? Because you can find those every year. Well, great team, great group. This is the closest I've ever played with. Yeah, but you don't win, so it doesn't matter.
Neither is this group, but they look pretty deadly right now. They're older too. Like, you look at Gagne, you look at Kane, you look at Perry, you look at Derek Ryan. Ekholm comes in last year as a guy on the other side of 30. This is not a negative thing, but this isn't a young, spry group, and they were already a little bit long in the tooth in some of the roles that he's going to play in. I mean, I don't know if it's a bad thing, but it's a very, very veteran team, where a couple of years ago, I don't know that it was.
Well, I think what they realized is they were missing some of that. Go back to the Battle of Alberta a few years ago when they beat the Flames, and who was on defense? Duncan Keith. And who was in net? Smith. Like, those things all matter. And that experience that they missed, I don't want to say you can't win without it, and they should have had enough sort of battle wounds and scars to begin with, but they should be closer to a spot now. Like, Corey Perry's gunning for a 5th Stanley Cup final appearance. He's been around and done a lot. He's got a Hart Trophy. He's done all the things that, not quite the same as Connor McDavid, but he's experienced a lot in this league. And to be able to add someone like that at his age, again, for nothing, you can't beat it.
I said to you when we were coming home on Sunday, he might be one of the smartest hockey players that we've seen play in the last 20 years, because he doesn't shoot it particularly hard. He doesn't skate. He's, there's not blazing speed. He's just in the right place. He's just very, very smart. He just is. So I think it's a great ad for them. I don't think it's like we talk about all the time, Pinder. It's, what's the downside? It's a contract spot and a league min sort of contract that maybe he gets a little bit more, but only if he performs. And if he performs, then you're happy to pay him. Let's pivot a little bit. The Flames. I want to start with Chris Tanev, just because we were talking Oilers, and they're like, boy, we could sure use a right shot. Which is how Oiler fans talk. We could use a right shot D. There's always been, but it feels like it's ramped up in Vancouver. If Tanev's getting traded, why wouldn't we bring him here? He's what we need, and we know he's a great fit, etc. Kuzmenko's name is kind of bubbling out there in Vancouver. Not to say there's a 1-for-1 fit here, but is Kuzmenko a guy the Flames would have their eyes on, and is Vancouver as maybe hot and bothered for Tanev as we might believe they are?
Yeah, I think Vancouver is on the list for sure for Tanev. And when it comes to Kuzmenko, like, that's exactly the type of swing, if you're Craig Conroy, that you want to take. This is a guy that last year was 1 goal away from 40 goals and 75 points as an NHL rookie. Not many guys can get to 40 goals. And this year he's been a square peg in a round hole for Rick Tocchet. And I think it's driven them absolutely crazy, because as they go out and look for another top 6 forward, the shitty part, if you're Jim Rutherford and Patrick Allvin, is you're sitting here going, we have one. He's playing right now in our bottom 6 or he's sitting in the press box because he can't do some of the non-negotiables that Rick Tocchet is asking for. And that's got to be incredibly frustrating because it's also at a somewhat reasonable for that production level, $5.5 million. Now, the flip side to that is if it's not working and it's not going to fit, you have a commodity that you can trade in Kuzmenko that frees up that much space to be able to accomplish a lot of different things if that's the point that they want to get to. And I think he's more or less like Sharon Govich on steroids, like this guy that is kind of underappreciated, certainly undervalued right now as to what that potential is. And I'm not saying he's always going to be a 75-point guy and 40-goal scorer, but even if he's half of that, you're able to swap him plus whatever you can get for Tanev, like you're laughing at the end of the day. And if it doesn't work out, well, he just walks in 1 year anyway. It's not like you're locked in for 5 years. That he's exactly the type of piece that when we started talking about the Flames and their deadline plans, I said on at least one of these trades, you have to get back a player that you can add into your mix. The example I gave last year was Hronek and going to Van. And I think they do well to even flip some of the pieces that they get. But if you can get a trial on someone for very little risk that has Kuzmenko's upside, man, that makes a lot of sense to me.
There's a lot of comparables there. I mean, one's Belarusian, the other's Russian. You've got one good year, one what the heck happened year on the resume. They're both sort of in those prime productive years. And you could probably flip them in a year when, you can give the guy the ice time here that Rick Tocchet's saying, no, not this year, not now. Interesting.
He's not a kid though, right? He's 27 years of age. Yeah. Sharon Govich younger and has more NHL experience. The last year was Kuzmenko's first season in the NHL, like as a rookie, yes, but as a guy in his mid-20s. So
what's the comparison between the two? It's that they really obviously fell out of favor with their coach.
No, 100%. Yeah. And the thing is, in Vancouver, Rick Tocchet's not going anywhere.
No.
So unless there's a kumbaya there and they can come around, Rick Tocchet doesn't seem like a guy who's going to start to bend his rules for a player to fit back into the system. There are comparables for sure.
And I think Kuzmenko's trying. He wants to be in Vancouver. He wants to make it work. He said all the right things, but saying and doing are two different things. And I think we've yet to see any real evidence that he's making strides in terms of what they're looking for from him.
Okay. I'll a couple items. One sort of similar. The Habs bought low on Sean Monahan when he was hurt. They've re-upped him on a 1-year deal. It sounds like they'll move him. What is he at this point? And, would you see a similar thing if Kuzmenko comes in, the Flames flip him in a year? Because again, he'll be 28 in the UFA. Well, that's a poor transition or what? But what do you see in Monahan? It looks like face-offs and power play. Everything else is pretty meh.
I don't think it's that meh. And I know you tweeted out the graphic from Jay Fresh. Look, I get what the numbers say, but the fact of the matter is this: he's on track for 55 points. He's playing bumper spot or net front presence on the power play. He kills penalties, and he's 5th in the league among left-handed centers with at least 600 draws taken this year. He's 95th percentile in high danger shots on net. He's 13th in stick checks. Like there's a lot of things that Sean Monahan isn't. He's not fast. He doesn't have a strong shot. But he's a really intelligent player that I think archetype-wise is an ideal third-line center fit for a team that's looking to beef up for the Stanley Cup playoffs. And look, we just did a segment on Daily Faceoff Live. I read all the mean tweets that people replied to when I said yesterday that just looking at the comps, Sean Monahan is worth a late first-round pick. I'm talking 29, 30, 31st overall. People, first off, the reading comprehension, they struggle with that part because, as Flames fans will know, Calgary already gave Montreal a first-round pick to move Monahan there in 2022. Now they should get another, which is just sort of a masterclass in asset management from Kent Hughes. Take the player. Last year he's hurt, and people are like, oh, why would you re-sign this guy? He could have been a UFA. For this exact reason. If you're a competing, contending team, you can get Sean Monahan if you play it right and have Montreal retain half for less than $1 million on your cap. And you can plug him into all sorts of different situations. Late in the game, if you need a second line winger, if someone else isn't going, he can bump up and play in that spot. I just think to see the comps, the market is clearly there for a late first for Montreal.
And so is that good news if you're selling Elias Lindholm? I think he'd be worth a lot more than Sean Monahan.
See, this was kind of the comparison that I made in the piece is we know that Lindholm is at another level than Monahan, but numbers wise, Monahan's actually on track for more points this year than Lindholm. And
yeah, I'd suggest Lindholm's a much better defensive player.
100%. He moves so much better. But like, my point is comparing the two. If you're a team that's on the market looking for a center, do you want to pay a mega premium for Lindholm, or do you just check down to Monahan? Like, I'd be way more interested in checking down to Monahan than overpaying for Lindholm.
Well, the salary you mentioned too is huge because Lindholm's cheap, but Monahan's like, you eat half. You said it, less than $1 million. That's wild. You could make 2 deadline ads instead of 1 potentially for some of these teams.
Unless you have designs on keeping Lindholm, if you maybe see him as he could be a part of your future, I would think that maybe the Lindholm deal makes more sense. I don't know. I get that the points are there, but I would much sooner have Elias Lindholm.
Sure.
The price differential would be appropriate.
So you'd pay the premium.
Well, it depends. It depends what it is. I'm not as bullish on Monahan. I know he's had a very good year, but it's been
playing with no talent, by the way.
Yeah,
no,
it's kind of undeniable what he's done. But I think if I'm trying to win, Elias Lindholm is going to do more for me in an all-around sense than Lindholm.
If I'm Colorado or Boston, I think 2C is the spot where Monahan doesn't do well. If you're a team that needs a 3C, okay.
I just think you're probably looking at double the acquisition price.
Probably. Yeah, I would think.
And I mean, given how so few of these trade deadline moves end up working out, like, let's take a step back and look at all these teams that have geared up the last few years. Boston last year with Orlov, Hathaway, and Tyler Bertuzzi. Like, they're out of picks for the next number of years. The Florida Panthers still don't have a first-round pick, I don't think, until 2027. Like, no. Is it worth the extra premium given that when you get to the playoffs, it's more or less a coin flip anyway?
Now I'm trying to remember, Pinder, was it last year, or, well, Frank, you would know too, where the Eastern Conference looked like it was sewn up like early. And this year, it seems like it's kind of the opposite. I feel like last week we went away for the weekend, came back. The Washington Capitals are, points wise, not point. They've now tumbled out, and now Tampa Bay's in, and Detroit's moved up, and Pittsburgh looks like they're in a real tough spot. It is tight. If you're looking at, is it Washington, Pittsburgh? Is that the threshold, and then Montreal's below it? Like, how many? If you're looking at the 2 wild cards, and then how many teams have we got fighting for potentially 2 spots there in a wild card in your eyes?
Yeah, I would say.
Is it 6?
South of Montreal and south, you're out. Like, season's over. Pitt, look, you see that own goal that goes in last night in Arizona, and Sidney Crosby's reaction was kind of like, it summed up their season. They've had really good stretches. Kyle Dubas came out and said, we have until the All-Star break to figure out what this team is before we make decisions at the trade deadline. Since that day, they've played .640 hockey. And then you have a game like last night where you just can't get out of your own way, and you're losing to the Yotes, who are kind of a fringe team in the West. And you've got these great underlying metrics. And how awesome is it that our goal differential is the best among all these clubs that are fighting for a spot? Doesn't really mean shit if you're not getting the actual wins. So they're not, and they're, sort of throwing away an all-world season from Sidney Crosby in the process. And the East is totally out. Look at the Boston Bruins, like a team that is now 7 points clear of everyone else in the entire conference, thanks to this 5-game winning streak. They snapped the incredible streak that the Winnipeg Jets had going, 34 consecutive games, 3 or less. Brad Marchand, empty netter, is the one that breaks that streak. And I'm looking at the Bruins and going, well, they just loaded up big time last year. Is this team this year any worse than the team that they had last year on that historic run? They're on track for 120 points. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's got to feel bleak in Pittsburgh, where you ran this thing back. I can't imagine. Yeah. I can't imagine you're thinking of moving out Jake Gensel to try and excel to make this team get into the playoffs. Kind of a if they miss, it's kind of a unceremonious, quiet end potentially to this iteration. You look back, and the asking price for Karlsson was manageable, but it doesn't seem like it's done anything close to what they had hoped. It sounds good. You had as many skilled players as you can, but it has not been a home run at all.
I mean, look, this isn't revisionist history. I said on the day it happened, no, there's no good. I never watched the Pittsburgh Penguins last year and said they need another 100-point defenseman who plays no defense. Mm-hmm. And they've now sort of furthered the pain. You've got 3 more years of Karlsson beyond this one at $10 million, and you gave away your first round pick this year in a year in which you might not make the playoffs. Like,
could be top 10.
Oh, I understand the idea of you're pot committed. You've got, all these guys locked up, Letang, Malkin, another year of Sid, and Sid's doing magical things. And yet everyone's remained healthy. That's the big part of this. Is last year was the first time in 6 years that Malkin and Crosby both played full seasons, and they still missed the playoffs last year. So they're going to have a decade of darkness there, which is why I think with where this, if the playoff, if we were, 5 weeks ahead from right now and the standings remain the same, I see no avenue in which they can keep Jake Gensel. What are you going to do? Re-sign him to be the best player on the very worst team in the league for the next 8 years? It makes no sense. And they've got a lot of really hard decisions to make to try and dismantle this team that underachieves again.
Sid's one of the first guys that can leave. You talk about Gensel, but of the core 4 guys there, Karlsson, Letang, Malkin, Sid, he's the first one that could look around, and that's crazy because you'd assume he's a career Penguin.
Do guys? So, can I just jump in because I was going to ask that too, but because Bork leaves Boston, but Bork didn't have a cup. Does it? You know what I mean? Like Sid has 1 cup. Is he going to be willing to leave to go chase another one? Kane left.
There's always that. In the back of everyone's head has been, oh, Sid lives in LA in the summer. Sid loves LA. Maybe that's the place that he wants to go to eventually. It's a tough, you are a lifelong Penguin, 3 Stanley Cups, one of the you're probably on the NHL's Mount Rushmore, right?
Close.
Very close. It's an interesting discussion. Maybe top 4 player all time. Are you going to, or do you just get through next year and call it a career? Do you go out on top? Do you?
God, he loves the game. I just can't imagine. Well,
and who was his role model? He lived with Mario when he got there. What did Mario do? No matter thick or thin, he was a Penguin. He wouldn't leave. He bought the bleeping thing.
Mario had it was different though. Mario had illness and he owned the team, and there was all kind it was different.
And I don't think that's the sound he's got, right?
But I don't think Mario had the love for the game that Sid does. I think Mario was one of the best ever at it, but I never got the sense near the end that it was going to be very hard for him to not play hockey. I just think that hockey is in Sid's blood.
I just think there's something amazing to be said for guys that have a threshold, a level that they are acceptable to play at. And then once you get below that, they're just like, you know what? I'm good. I don't care if I had 75 or 80 points last year and I'd still be helpful and valuable. I think that's an amazing quality to have, to say, this is the only thing that I consider acceptable and I'm out.
Like Barry Sanders, leaving in your prime.
Before we let you go, we sit here and the Flames win and the show takes a certain tone. They lose and then it goes back and forth. We're trying to discern what Craig Conroy is, not so much what he's thinking. What is he going to be allowed to do? What is the team going to be? Sellers? Are they sitting tight? Is there a potential where they maybe try and add a small piece or whatever it is? I mean, do you believe, aside from a huge winning streak or a losing streak, let's just say they continue to clip along here, because we're not that far away from a March 8th deadline. If you were characterizing, are they still sellers as we believe this year was going to be?
I think they are. And I think they are open to a bunch of different possibilities and ideas that something, I'm not saying the player exactly, but something along the lines of that Kuzmenko thing, something, move here, bring back something there, stockpile some picks, maybe flip some of them. It's like their mission and mandate now is to be a really competitive team 2 to 3 years from now.
New rink.
I think. Say that.
Yeah, it's a new rink. Like if you can be competitive when you open that new profit center, that's what you want.
Yeah, you want to be able to, hand everyone a 20% increase in your ticket costs at a time when you're moving into a sparkling new palace and your team is ready to compete. And I'm not saying that's, sort of the, timeline that they're living and dying on, but I think they recognize that even if they were to be a playoff team this year, that they're pretty far outclassed from the rest of the West, that this team really needs surgery.
I got one final one. I know you're long on time here, but just you watched Ottawa bring in DeBrincat and sell him for less than they bought him a year later. Are we going to see the same thing with Chicker? And that seems wild to turn loonies into 50-cent pieces.
Not sold that's going to be the case, meaning like, I think he's got some significant value. He's played better in Ottawa than he did in Arizona. You're still looking at 2 playoff runs. It's not a guarantee that he gets moved, but it's really clear that there's a logjam there. Like, to me, Jake Sanderson is going to be in the Norris Trophy conversation in 2 years' time. Okay. And they've got Shabbat locked up to a long-term deal at $8 million. I think if everything was equal, money and dollars and term and everything, the guy that they'd be picking to keep would be Chychrun, and Shabbat would be on the way out. But there's just not any value, any surplus value there, certainly, that you're going to have the conversation this summer anyway when it comes to Chychrun. Do we extend him or not? But under $5 million for this year and next, there's so many teams that he can help as a left shot guy that also piles up points with that cannon that he has on the power play. I'm not convinced that his value is really, it's not unchanged from last year. I think they could get a haul.
I'm not sure if there's room, Ryan, you'd be able to, if we can get your name on that cup, but because I know there's rules and have you played enough minutes? Yeah, I'm not sure.
Can I petition the committee? Kind of like,
yeah, you can. Yeah,
I'm trying to think of the last guy that I think Michael Del Zotto was the last guy that got it. He was in St. Louis, played 7 games after the trade deadline, but no cup final games, no playoff games, and they still put him on the cup.
We'll have the flip cup sign thing on the backside, so you'll be on that one. Prominent.
Yeah, it's not an asterisk, but it's just kind of
multiple wins.
Right. Well, don't call on me next year then out of the bullpen.
Right. We needed him.
Thank you, Frank.
Hey, Rhett, great to see you.
Nice to be here, Frank. Great to see you. I'm glad you had a great time with the fellas on the weekend in Jasper.
Yeah, missed you there, buddy.
Yeah. I can't.
It would have been there would have been pockets there that it was the Warner wheelhouse for sure.
Oh yeah.
The on ice portion he would not have enjoyed. There's a bit of the
You would have really enjoyed the Rosie story time that we had at the bar too.
Was that not unbelievable? My good God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Fireside old fashions, Rhett. You would have loved them.
Thank you, Frank. Be good.
See you guys.
There he is, Frank Seravalli, joining us on the Insider Hotline for TELUS. TELUS partners with the Calgary Flames and the Calgary Hitmen since 2005, giving back to our community, making the future friendly, the most giving company in the world. It's TELUS. Learn more at TELUS.com/givesback. So the Kuzmenko thing, again, who knows, right? We go on the internet, you read things, and somebody in Vancouver says this, so then we react, and this whole thing.
If that's a truth and there's rumors and any truth to the rumors, move Tanev now, get Kuzmenko and get him in here and get him to score like 10 over the next month.
Pump and dump.
And
trade him.
Yeah, at the trade deadline.
Crazier things have happened.
He is 27. Last year was his first year in the NHL after being in the K, obviously, for a number of years.
Wasn't he supposed to be the best player not in the NHL?
I probably was. If he could score 39 his first year. Are you kidding me? Holy
Don't
shit.
like those tags. Anyway, yeah, he was playing with St. Petersburg, came over 81 games, 39 goals, 74 points.
That's wild, guys.
First and this year,
39?
Yeah, to have 39, and now they're at 41 games. They're at the halfway point. He has 8.
Yeah, he's on pace for 15. That's a little bit different.
Well, didn't he say he's been scratched? No, can't be.
It's been scratched.
It does feel like one of those, like what, a year ago, Bruce Boudreau. Right now, Rick Tocchet. It's not crazy to think that some guys just don't fit into the same role that they did previously.
Turns 28 in a couple of weeks. I don't know that it's a long-term thing, but if it's a spot where you feel like you can flip him in the next calendar year and get more than what he costs now, that's like not unlike what Montreal's doing with Monahan. That's just smart asset management.
Well, and I think what you're saying there and what Frank said, I think the Flames and Conroy have to have that smart asset management because it hasn't been in Calgary for a while. And it's not a shot at Treliving, but Treliving was win. We're really good. We're going to win, and I'm going to spend it. I'm going to trade. I'm going to bring in. I'm going to try to win. I'm not really about asset management. And I think you almost have to make up for some of that lost. I mean, the Monahan, the Giordano, the stuff we always talk about. It wasn't about asset management. And I think you almost have to overemphasize that for Conroy now.
If you're not in a window to win, you've got to. Like, if they end up having cap space at the deadline, go eat half the money on a player and send them somewhere else. Be a bank. Like, get creative on ways to get more picks. They don't have extra picks at this point. Like, it's go get some.
New rink or not, to your point, it's not like they've sent a bunch of picks out, but they're thin organizationally on defense prospects.
They're thin organizationally on defense prospects, and they've got kids that have come up already this year that maybe you weren't expecting, which is going to create a real thin layer moving forward, right? Like if Pelche is good and Coronado's here, yes, you've got youth in your lineup, so maybe you're not as worried about it, but you do have to continue to restock.
Yeah. Hanzik will be there next year, but the big glaring hole is center and D. And you need lots of picks. They have one less than what they were granted in picks coming up this year. You know, they got Chicago's 5th. They've traded their 5th and their 7th. It's not a big deal, but you'd love to have more than 6 picks. And I think they will have a lot more than 6 picks when you get to Vegas in the end of June.
Well, I asked Frank. I still feel like this is a selling team, and I
think you're right.
The wins are exciting, but
I actually think they'll play it out as far as not play it out, prove it out in their play. I think
I agree.
They're playing well and they've battled. They're just not quite good enough.
Yeah. The more you see them play games like we saw against Toronto and Edmonton, the more you're going to be like, it just is what it is. Now I get it. It was Vladar in both those games, not Markstrom, but you've got Boston, you've got the Rangers, you've got a bunch of good teams on the other side of the All-Star break. When you get to March, and maybe it's fool's gold because we thought it would be by Christmas, but I just think it's going to be a lot more obvious than it was a week ago.
And the other thing you bring up Markstrom. Well, if you're not trading Markstrom can still sneak you into the playoffs. So if you're going to get into the playoffs, it's going to be on the back of Markstrom, not because you're loaded with guys up front or on the D that are carrying you, right?
Totally.
It's going to be Markstrom or bust as far as playoffs are concerned.
He's going to, the real fear is that he puts you in a spot on March 8th where you're really stuck in the middle.
I think you don't have to be in the middle. I think if they're keeping Markstrom, fine, go ahead, because he's going. And if you think you're going to make it and be the 8th seed, that's fine too. But it's going to be based on Markstrom. Move all your other pieces anyway.
Yeah,
do both.
I mean, I agree. I just think that there could be we can't trade Tanev because look how close we are. And it's like he'll be our own rental, and then it's like no. Now you're really screwing up the asset management game. You can't walk a guy to you this summer.
I think Conroy sees that.
I do too.
I agree.
Yeah, I really do. It will be Markstrom tonight. He is back in from the looks of things over at the Dome. So make it 3 games that he missed with the tweak going back to last Sunday, so he'll be in tonight. And it looks as though Schwint will be in.
Cool.
Old Schwinty, Schwint dog. Adam Ruzicka was skating with the group afterwards, so it looks like Rosie out, Schwint in.
So that could be a Greer, Klapka, Schwint fourth line. That's all right. Some Wranglers vibes. Let's go. Fourth line was not doing anything. I'm okay with that.
Schwint Klapka. Didn't think we would see that trio necessarily at any point.
He's the eighth guy that's been called up since the start of the year from the Wranglers.
I think it's great.
What did they get last year? 2, like over the whole season.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, Rhett. I think it's great.
Let's go.
And you know what? It's a spot where they're not. Sometimes kids come in and play in a season that's non-playoff and the team is horrible and the mood is awful. And they're getting experience, but how would they be better off in the A where maybe they're winning games? That's not the case here.
No.
The spirits seem high. There is a chance every single night they could be winning. The emphasis is still there. Play well, or you're going to be out of the lineup because we're still in the business of winning hockey games. It's not.
This isn't Chicago or San Jose.
It's not a death march.
Competitive club.
No, don't agree.
I'm with you.
I 100% agree.
All right. Fair enough.
100%.
It's kumbaya. We're just holding hands, singing the same chorus, boys.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Douglas Mattress.
Ooh.
Named Canada's best mattress on Canadian Living. Loved by more than 200,000 Canadians, over 10,000 five-star reviews. Douglas Mattress came into the fold. Like, hey, barn burner guys, do you Douglas Mattress, really? Yeah, Canadian. Definitely know about Doug. Yeah, so that's in the box, right? Shows up at your house. It's made in Calgary. I did not know.
Wow.
That I had no idea. So for me, moved to Calgary right here in 2007.
Don't say it.
Bought a new bed, new mattress, box spring, did the whole thing in 07. That bad boy is still hanging out in the master bedroom. So how many years ago was that?
More than 15.
When are you supposed to swap mattresses?
Less than 15.
Because we've flipped it and spun it and put it on edge. Like we've done everything with that mattress. And here's the thing: it needs to be replaced. I've wanted to replace it for a long time, but my wife's it's so soft, it's so comfortable, and new beds are just so it hasn't gotten done. Well, Douglas shows up at the door, wheel it in the house. She's like, I don't know. I love our bed. I just don't know. Like, babe, we got to come on. Look, 10,000 five-star reviews, 200. This is the real thing. Okay, all right. Foomp, and it is amazing. I don't know what kind of vacuum system that they've got, but that you can take a king-size mattress and like put it in your backpack is I don't know how that happens. So it's bananas. So it's got the thing out of the bag, throw it on there. How would I describe it? It is soft while being firm. It's a firm mattress feel that gives you which is what I do not have in the old one, right? It's
get some support.
Firm, but squishy, cushy, comfortable.
Yeah.
First night, she says in the morning, yeah, it's good. We can get rid of the other.
Get rid of the old one.
So the one that she was.
Where do we go with old mattresses? Can I donate this?
She was yeah, this was not something it's like, well, it's for your work, I guess. Well, yeah, okay, sure. The next morning, yeah, we can get rid of the old mattress. That was really good. So for what it's worth, from the woman that I live with, she is on board. She is on Team Douglas. And part of it was for me, if we're going to get a new mattress, which is why, are we really going from store to store? Lay on this bed, lay on this bed, lay on this bed. No, let's go. So who sells beds? Lay on this one. No, thanks. I mean, I don't have a lot going on in my life, but it's not really how I want to spend my time. It shows up at your door. Online ordering. in a box on the doorstep, free shipping, coast to coast to coast. And how about this? Well, what if we don't like it? 365 night risk-free trial. You don't like it? You get a full refund, no questions asked. Douglas donates mattresses to local charities. It's a winner all the way around. And right now you saw, throw it back up on there. We had the old, there it is. Because this is what the deal is. Douglas.ca/FlamesNation. You order a mattress. Every order comes with a free Comfort Sleep bundle. That's 2 memory foam pillows with pillow protectors, a luxurious cotton sheet set, and a mattress protector. That's a $650 bundle that is yours for free if you order a Douglas mattress now. Proudly made here in Calgary, highest quality materials, fast delivery. I'm on board. It's staying. You don't need to give me this 365 night. No, how about one night?
That's all it took.
That's all it took. Douglas.ca/FlamesNation. That's how you get the mattress and the Comfort Sleep bundle showing up at your door.
What about that big massive dog you got? Does that get up there? And
yeah, he needs to take
a new mattress there.
He needs to take he was not getting on the new mattress.
No.
That was the one thing Mama
New
was
rules.
like, no, stay down. No. Get down. So I bet he would like it though. He'd love it.
For sure. Yeah, it's too nice for your dog. Sorry.
Yeah, he'd be a
Sorry,
huge
dog.
fan. Douglas.ca/FlamesNation. Alrighty, it's time for the Pinder Report, a presentation of.
So thoughtful. Look at deep in thought.
If we were gonna, who is your internet provider? Is it like Verizon? What's in the US? Who gives
McGillicuddy
would be Verizon. My internet is good. I think it's actually this computer. I think what has happened is that my idiot kids have gotten hold of it. They figured out the passcode, and so they've been playing games on here that internet-based games. I'm sure they've brought in some sort of malware.
Okay.
Well, it's just a shame because you put so much effort into the whole set and the mic stand broke and you immediately replaced it. I know you'll quickly run out and get a new computer.
I got a new one downstairs. I just have to
Let's go.
So far. It's so far to go. Yeah, McGillicuddy Wireless there in rural Buffalo's signal's not great. Village Honda Northwest Auto Mall, your dealership for life. The Honda Civic continues to lead the way in value, reliability, and performance. The 2024 Civic received a 10 out of 10 in Car and Driver's comprehensive vehicle testing. The Civic Type R and the Civic Si were ranked number 1 and 2 respectively in the sport compact category. This will surprise no one. It's the Honda Civic. It's Honda reliability. They're all, and they just redesigned it. The thing is, it's all new. If you've not driven, now's the time. Village Honda, your dealership for life in the Northwest Auto Mall. Village Honda presents the Pinder Report.
All right, friends, we start with some images that many never believed would be produced. Not AI, these are real, right? There's Oliver Shillington practicing with the Calgary Flames this yesterday off the Calgary Flames Twitter account. Exciting stuff to see, certainly first for the human, but also for an organization that's mulling over what to do with only 2 defensemen under contract next year. A lot of smiles, listening to the post-game comments of his teammates and himself, all filled with a lot of positives. And this is clearly someone in a very comfortable spot. He's talked about he just feels right, feels like himself again. And being on the ice has certainly got him feeling in a good way. That is great news for everyone involved. So hurrah to that, friends. Hurrah.
Attaboy, Shilly.
Why hurrah? Like, what's hurrah?
It's like a cheer. Hurrah.
Not hooray.
Do hooray too. Hooray, hurrah. Hooray, hurrah.
Hooray. Hurrah.
Hurrah.
It's hurrah like the lesser.
Is that a French song?
hooray.
Hurrah, hurrah.
That's
Well,
hurrah. Yeah.
And then with hooray, you can throw in a hip hip.
That's right.
You do a hip hip hurrah or a hip because it's hip hip.
That would throw people off if you parade.
I've also heard of a hip hop hooray.
Yes, that's a good song. That's a banger. Very good. Street cred right there for Dino. Here's a look at what the Flames are faced with in the wild card standings, friends.
There's no street cred. Look at him dance. What are you talking about? Street cred.
Can I get a what?
And you have to go out on the street to get. Although you were out at Jasper and in Phoenix.
Come on, dude.
He's got national park cred for sure. Street cred, we're not sure yet.
Yeah. I sure do.
One step lower. He's almost there. Standings, you see them. There's St. Louis highlighted. Better points percentage than the Flames, but not by much. They're essentially 1 point back with 2 games in hand. Those are your 2 combatants tonight. And the schedule, this is it, man. We got one final week before they disappear for a week and a half. It is this team, the Blues. Johnny coming back to town on Thursday. Gosh, is there a more miserable outfit than the Blue Jackets right now? Like, we know San Jose's supposed to be bad. Chicago's supposed to be bad. Like,
Columbus
isn't even place?
Columbus is not even discussed as if it's part of the NHL at this moment.
Not a blip, not like no registering on the Richter scale, just 0.
It's that's tough. And then
nobody's
Chicago,
saying, let's go pull some guys out of Columbus. They'd be great fits.
Winnipeg tried that with Pierre-Luc Dubois once.
The one nice thing that Winnipeg did, though, was they sent a Patrick Laine, and his production is.
Yeah. Who's more disappointing?
Package they got for Dubois and said, would you trade that for Laine? I'd be like, oh, I like the package. Yeah.
And speaking of which, I don't know if you saw, Todd McClellan has had it with Pierre-Luc Dubois.
There were some quotes.
Quotes came out. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's your one
basically.
Of 8, so.
Okay, I've had enough. How does that play out?
Well, he's challenged the player, and it's clear like that the coach is on the hot seat because they had the incredible start. What was it, like 13, 17 games in a row on the road? They didn't lose, whatever.
Yeah.
And now it's like they've plummeted right to wild card 1. The Oilers are past them. Like, they're now having to go on the road to play a division winner if the season was to end today. They've blown leads. The goaltending from Cam Talbot's evaporated a bit. Dubois has been awful, like really not good. And like, what's next? The only card you haven't played yet. Bench him.
Yeah, it's been horrendous. And to your point there, Red, how does he respond? Well, at least he's not a powder. So I'm sure it goes really well. You know, it's not like a guy that's going to suck hole and feel
other teams.
Yeah, not going to suck hole and feel sorry for himself. He wouldn't. That's just not his. That's not his way. Where is he? God almighty. Pierre-Luc Dubois, 9 goals in 44 games, 19 points. Team worst, -13.
Played his way down to the third line.
And making how much?
8.5 a year for 8.
Is he still an
You think they'd rather have Lindholm or him? Right? Scheifele or him? Bo Horvat or him? Dylan Larkin or him? That's the pay grade he's in.
Hubert over him.
Oh, I wouldn't go there. Not yet. Rough half season. Younger centerman.
I was just asking.
Yeah, not yet.
I don't want anything to do with Dubois.
I know. You made that clear last week.
There is it's the third team.
Oh yeah.
So now you're in LA making all the money and you're still sour.
Yeah, I got to get somewhere I like to play so I can perform. Okay.
I'm underpaid. I got to make more money. Okay.
Time to perform, bud.
Now he's probably not he's playing with the wrong line mates, or he's not getting enough ice, or
this is a common thread with my 8-year-old. You know what it is? Never his fault. Oh, me. No. Never him. It's not PLD's problem here, guys.
No,
somebody else's for sure.
Shitty ice in LA. I can't skate on this ice.
Coach, teammates, ice, sunburn.
All you scouts and dumb GMs out there, maybe do some research on personality traits.
Yeah. Maybe talk to somebody instead of looking at your computer screen for all your analytics. Maybe go and talk.
Analytics look great.
Get a conversation in.
Analytics have been really
look at the heat lamp or the box or whatever the hell.
Yeah, get the heat box
cold this year.
Get the hot box going for sure. Rosie and Pinder.
There's your box. The Cole Schwindt's been summoned. Again, we noted it. The 8th player up from the Wranglers. Sounds like he's going to play tonight. That's exciting. He, of course, was just, a guy. Well, just one guy traded for Matthew Tkachuk out of many that were in that package. It was Huberdeau, Weegar, a first-rounder, and Cole Schwindt. Well, here he is, making his NHL debut for the Flames. 20 points in 37 games. Not bad. Right shot, center and wing, and more of his end of the ice expert more than piling up points. So there you have it. That's a little Pike bomb for you. How you like that?
Pike, great stuff. That is a positive person. Hey?
Yeah.
Pike's thorough. Don't mess with Pike. Also, it's Blasty tonight. I don't know if you know that. So get your They call it a dark mode on the Flames Twitter. So get all your Blasty gear on. Blasty.
All right.
Blasty.
So don't wear.
You know what we can't do is do our Dylan Dubé anytime bet with the Blasty.
I know,
That's what it was one more game he needed. God damn it.
Bought my kid a Blasty Kachuk. I think he wore it once. It's money well spent.
Just swap out the 9 for a 7, Sharon Govich, buy yourself a year.
No,
What number is
traded in for a wrestling thing? He's a wrestler, this
LA
kid.
Knight.
You know what? I think Connor Zary should wear 19.
There you go.
So
I see it working. I see it working.
Wonder if maybe Pelche should wear 19. Anyway.
Coronado 19, please. Somebody 19.
Anyone. Well, that's 39. That's one less number again.
Well, I changed it from that. It's 27 now. But
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Damn it.
Well, Pelche changed 22, so he's already changed. There's all kinds. Yeah, I know. It's a lot. Let's move to, things that shouldn't happen in the NHL for 500, Alex.
Can't
Coyotes,
handle this
Penguins.
back pass. It goes off the blade.
Oh, Rhett.
Gino.
Delayed penalty. Malkin, one hand, backhand. Letang, drop pass. Goal, Coyotes. Which isn't the first time we've seen this in the league, but it is the first time for something. Let's go to the Arizona Coyotes PR account. It's the only team in the history of the NHL to get a power play goal without recording a single shot on a power play that night. I mean, tough to beat that one.
I mean, it's not great when you get 0 power play shots. I don't know how many power plays they had, but
It's just about results, Dean. I'm not really cared about shots.
what does that count for your?
They scored.
So your shooting percentage doesn't.
You would have a
It's
goal on no shots somehow.
Yeah.
It's I don't even.
That
You're
sounds
shooting.
good.
I'm not
shooting
great at
percentage
math,
would be
but
infinity.
that's
It's through the roof. There's no number bigger.
They'd love that at the Mullet Arena.
They would have. That's right. Didn't see this one coming at all. They go get Evander Kane. They've added, a veteran in Sam Gagner. They're not afraid of older guys. Derek Ryan re-upped. Now Corey Perry. Check out the latest ad from the Oilers.
Oh my goodness! I mean,
And if you don't like this signing, you don't believe in second chances for people. Or
I
whatever
have
they said
nothing
about
to
you.
say about this. My screen actually just went black, so I'm not sure. I'm sure you're. Maybe the
I
next
got a laugh
story.
out of it. I thought it was funny. He does score a lot in those exhibition games. I'll say that. Feel like he needs to go up a level.
Any comment, Red, on that story?
Oh,
Nothing.
we can't tell
Nope.
jokes. I'm sorry.
don't.
Brett's going to have a comment on this one. This stings. So the Bills and the Chiefs tied forever. Dramatic games, classics, playoff, just magnificent contests, back and forth, last minute drama. How in the world did the Chiefs end up getting Mahomes anyway? Well, let's slide over and see. It was actually the 10th overall pick that belonged to the Bills that was traded to Kansas City to make that selection. They traded to get a third, another first, and a 27th overall pick.
Yeah, but then what did they take with that 3rd round pick?
I
You
don't
know,
really
they
care.
got
It's
an
not
extra.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably be hard to beat Mahomes, whoever you took in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few teams that drafted ahead of 10th that didn't pick
9,
them.
I'm told. Yeah.
Somewhere around there. some
Ish.
say.
I mean, maybe someone had 2 in
Maybe
there.
someone had 2 picks. Yeah.
Yeah. And they did
Yeah.
make him sit for a year and watch Alex Smith play football.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's insignificant.
I'll say this though: if you do a redraft, I bet he's not going 10th.
I'd take him higher. Yeah.
I bet he goes higher if they were to do the draft. today.
Top 9, I'd say for sure. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Nine's
did-
better than good for the pick.
No, I'm sure you haven't been reliving this one. It was a bit miserable, but I do like hearing the international calls. South Korea had a broadcast of the football
Game is
Let's
over.
have a listen. No, it's another language.
The
We
news
love
cycle
learning
is
about other
less
cultures.
than
선수가
24 hours.
오른쪽으로 나오면서 시간을 벌어봤지만 오픈된 리시버를 찾을 수 없었습니다.
44야드 거리입니다. 타일러 베스. 오른쪽으로 벗어났어요.
Brett, the whole 24-hour rule, I didn't play this within 24 hours of them losing. Now it's cool. Now we can watch the video. That's the 24-hour rule. Oh!
That
I
is not
believe-
the sound that was being made at the stadium. I can tell you that.
That is correct.
I believe that translates to "Holy crap."
Yeah.
That's the translation.
So Joel Embiid, very good at basketball. Very, very tall. What is he, 7 foot something? He's like a perennial MVP
Not
candidate.
tall enough.
Look at him walking by your boy Wemby. So that's Wembanyama, the first overall pick from France. He's like, nope, that's insane. And he's closer to the camera, which makes it look even closer than it is.
No, that's it.
Now, one's a little leaner than the other. So you're going to ask yourself, well, he's a rookie, a little bit taller. How did it go for Embiid anyway? Just a casual 70 points night. Back to the gym, son. Going to need some more calories. Get some protein in you. Yeah. Holy.
Mixing a sandwich. 70 points.
You're going to have to house a baguette an
5
hour to
assists,
get close.
Though. Come on.
Only 5 assists. That's right.
A ball hog.
Yeah.
He's not a dimer. He's just a hooper. Eh?
Just a hooper.
Just a hooper. I love the memes, so we'll get some. Remember when we saw Jason Kelsey taking his shirt off?
I wish they'd arrested him here and got his ass out of there.
Yeah, you'd love him if he's a Bilbo. He's your guy. They finally put it to the Jurassic Park music, which is important. One more time, please.
Yeah.
The internet.
Yeah.
But it's not the worst, Dean.
All right. I thought that
The internet works. It's good.
It is good. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
A Willigerton Communications.
Yeah.
Rhett, you're always about, letting kids live their life and learn on their own. You can't teach people their lessons. They got to go make mistakes.
Or do whatever the hell they want.
Yes, you're going to learn. You're going to learn about the real world that way. Maybe don't do that with like 3-year-old girls on golf.
You gotta tell that kid you can't drive in the green. It's bad etiquette.
Yeah, please.
Kids.
It's cart path only on hole 11. Come on.
Why is that kid on the golf course?
Let's go. Come on, Madison.
If you don't have a babysitter, sorry, I can't golf today. I got my kid. That's shoddy parenting retro.
That's not a move.
You'd never do that.
Never.
You guys have seen the whole, like, we do a little gender reveal thing when we were having kids. We're all excited. You see, it's a loaded golf ball and you cut into a cake. It's a balloon. Let's have a look. We're only watching it if it went horribly wrong. Here we go.
1, 2, 3. Oh!
That didn't go well.
That's a YouTube fail.
And look at the camera. See how she's doing. He checks what color are we at here?
Oh, you're not supposed to hit it that hard. 1, 2, 3. Oh!
That didn't go well.
That's a YouTube fail. Are you okay?
That guy's a dud.
Yeah,
you know what? That you just felt like this has a 97% chance of hitting her right in the mush.
Especially after yesterday. I am glad baseball's back, but that's 2 baseballs right to the face in
that
multiple
guy
days
meant
here.
to do it.
That's it.
Yeah, he did.
That's bad. You ever had a squirrel steal your smokes, Rhett?
No, they wouldn't touch my smokes. I know better.
No, that's what this guy thought. It's too bad. Those the cools, the green pack there.
It looks like the cools. Yeah,
he just quits. He's
got
got
my
one
menthols.
hanging on the lip.
That's
is that our boy? Washington's a lock machine.
That's like golfing at Waskasoo, Pinder. You at the 10th after the 10th, the turn there. You can't leave your
your
butter
snacks.
tarts or your hot dogs on the cart because the damn Ravens will take them.
They're smart. They're acting all dumb. Then next thing you know, you go to pay. Off the cart, gone. Hit your tee shot, gone. Shoveler and you're all about this Wim Hof, the cold plunges, the hot tubs. What you want to do is get really, really hot, like 10 to 20 minutes, and then you got to plunge into some cold water, have a relax, do it again. You cycle 4 or 5 times. It's like anti-aging. You're Rhett's in on all this stuff. The one thing, you got to make sure the stairs aren't slippery. That's it.
if you do, you got to stay in the cold plunge longer. Then when
Now, that's right.
you got to get the bruising or the
There
swelling
again,
out.
that had a 97% chance of happening.
I
That
didn't
is
think
true.
so.
Gosh.
She starts out so slow. I'm like, she's
Yeah.
onto this. She's got it figured out. She's
Drops
got
the
to be
water bottle.
careful.
Was
There
that
are-
the phone that went first? The phone went into the friggin' drink first, and then. Come on, ladies.
It's a water
Hold
bottle.
the rail.
She kicks the water bottle. The railing's
the
right
rail.
there. What are we doing? Oh,
Hold
shoveler, come on.
the rail.
Oof. That's gonna hurt your tuchus.
You can go viral doing a lot of things on the internet. There's not a lot better than the guys that have got just phenomenal hops, and you can literally drive a car and they will jump over the car, and there's immediately like everyone's like, "You're my hero." I couldn't do that. Brave, incredible stuff. This is all very on the nose today, Dean. Again, a 97% chance.
There was a 97% chance. Yeah. And you know what? Watch. Sorry, could we show that again? Look at the hood and the top of the
Oh,
windshield.
there's some damage here. Yeah.
It's not about the car, obviously, but that's not insignificant contact.
That's not a Honda Odyssey either. That's not built for like that. Is no good. Look at this.
I'm not convinced that the survival rate is a 97%.
Yeah, that's
You know what? A high ankle sprain.
4 to
I
6
would
weeks.
think. Yeah.
Now the fellas are getting really excited. I think this is Rhetts kids. The football season's around the corner in Buffalo. They're out shopping for some equipment, but you got to test it out first, right, Rhetts? You can't just it's like a hockey stick. You want to play with the curve a little. You got to flex it a bit, see how it goes. Here we go.
Getting ready for the season. Ray Lewis, baby. Are you okay? Ow. Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness.
Ray Lewis, baby. That is a pop.
You could have taken one of those, like the metal rods, like right into your lung.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Some Tyrod Taylor right into your.
I actually like it because the kid was Ray Lewis. Like Ray Lewis has
That's
been
exactly
done
what Ray
for
would
a
have done.
while.
Mhm.
Yes.
Keep them
I'm not
coming.
talking about
Come on.
Putin or Ray Lewis.
Okay. Fine.
Not gonna do it.
What would happen? Let's just watch. It's self-explanatory.
No, I'm not who you're expecting, but your driver got arrested for things he had to take care of. So I figured I'd complete the DoorDash for you. Take care.
Thanks.
That's a good man right there.
To
You got your
serve and
Arby's
protect.
anyway.
To serve and protect. There's good cops out there. Now, do you think if it was something he wanted to eat, he'd have done it?
If those are onion rings and you're the cop, Dean, there's no way you're going to that house.
Wait a minute, is this Cluck and Cleaver? Sorry, babe. I don't know what happened.
That's your Pinder Report, fellas.
There you go. It's Village Honda presenting the Pinder Report. Huge selection of pre-owned all makes, all models, over 90 units on site, access to more than 500 more inside the dealership group. It's why Village Honda is your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary, located in the Northwest Auto Mall and your dealership for life. When's the last time you've had fried chicken?
So not chicken wings.
Yeah,
A fried chicken sandwich this week somewhere. Where was it?
Still not the same. The fried chicken sandwich is not fried chicken.
No, that's not your bucket of bird.
No, it's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
Wow. We're bucket buddies, right? We're
Oh,
not
yeah.
buddy, or are we bucket buddies?
Ooh.
Me and you. Because
There's the two
you're
pieces, right?
dark meat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're bucket buddies. So Rhett
Not
and I
buddies.
very much in tune. We could order a bucket of chicken, and he can have the dark
Do we look
meat,
like
and I could
people
take-
that would eat buckets of chicken?
No.
Yes, you do.
I mean,
Not on our
Hypothetically
own.
speaking.
We'd share like good bucket
Oh, yeah.
buddies do.
that's right.
Bucket buddies.
How many pieces and nut buddies? I like the cashews, and you do not.
I don't like a soft nut. I want a hard nut.
What else falls into that soft nut category? Like, is the hazelnut, the Brazil nut?
No, the hazelnut's quite. The Brazil nut would.
The Brazil nut would be, right?
Yeah.
When it comes out of the shell, it would be soft. Not an almond. Almonds are very
Almond's a
hard.
hard nut.
What about a macadamia? I actually don't mind.
Ooh, the macadamia's soft.
Yeah, it is too. Big too.
Soft.
Big soft.
Now, what about just your regular peanut?
I don't like peanuts.
Well, you know why? It's because it's not a nut.
What?
It's a legume.
Is it a seed?
The peanut is not a nut. It's a legume. Amaze your friends with that today around the old water cooler.
Damn. Glad I was seated for that.
I don't know why they call it peanuts nuts, man. What? Oh, was I talking out loud?
Why isn't it called a pea legume? Don't be misleading people your whole life.
These are very valid questions, Ryan. Very valid questions. Get your questions in. Coming up on Thursday, it is going to be Ask Rhett. I got thinking about the one question. I think it was last week where dude was asking about the raisin dangling from his hoo-ha.
Oh, don't be thinking about that, Dean.
Well,
Let us know how it is.
Happened last week.
Because he called it a raisin, and then you guys kind of said, well, it's like a grape. So I don't know. The guy was talking about. What was your answer to that question? I don't remember ever.
I think it was the cream. You got to get on the cream.
No, I actually
Surgery
said that
first,
probably if you're at this point, the cream has been used and it's now surgery time.
That's right.
Now, is there experience there, or is that just kind of what
I've heard of these
knowledge that you've
happening.
gained over the years?
I would like to knock on wood and keep that surgery out of my list of medical needs.
And how do you get those? Sitting on cold benches or something? Is that
strain it to? You know what it is, Dean? You're sitting on you're sitting on the can too long playing Candy Crush or whatever that game is.
Yeah. I feel bad for that guy because I thought I couldn't remember what we told him. I figured the guy took enough time to email Ask Rhett and looking for some serious life advice, and then we got talking about grapes or raisins or whatever. I wasn't sure if we actually gave him the advice he was seeking.
The good news is he can give us an update for Thursday.
I've heard horror stories of this type of stuff.
I have too. It's not
What?
good. You don't wish this on anyone.
Like what can?
I just know it's not good.
End up in hospital for trouble. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like infectione?
Wow.
Infectione of the bunghole? I am Cornholio.
Oh.
Thank you for my bunghole. It's Ask Rhett Thursday. Bonton Meat Market, Calgary. Tradition since 1921. Rhett loves a good baseball ribeye.
No, yeah.
Tell you what, the weather's warmed up. Not that it was bitterly cold. It's
-6 today this morning. That's fine.
It's perfect time for the grill
January
right now.
Yeah.
Oh man. You smell it in the neighborhood. Somebody's grilling. Somebody's got some steaks going.
Oh, baby.
Bonton.
I feel bad.
About?
I guess I shouldn't because you're going to get used to it real fast. But if Greg Keller's going to join the Bills Mafia, that was a very early on in his love affair with the Bills. He got taught what the Bills are all about.
Yeah, it was about 6 days, wasn't it? It was a very tight turn to go from the misery of his Cowboys defeat to this one.
It was Billsy, though. He's going to have to get used to that taste where you do for a while believe you will win. Not the fall on my face, it's brutal Dallas Cowboys type exit, but the tease you into believing there's a chance Billsy way of losing. I
saw a thing online. Somebody had gone through whatever it is, was it Craigslist, eBay, and they'd gone through to see just, are people really selling all their Cowboy stuff? It's like, yeah, it's like pages and pages of Cowboys. I'm done. It's over. Take it all. Deal for bulk purchases.
Get some signed CD Lamb. That's a good value point right now. Go get it.
Kept the coach, kept the quarterback. It'll be totally different next year. Totally different. Do some DoorDash. Yeah, we could probably do a little bit of Betway Bets. I see the Betway Bets there at the
Yeah.
bottom. What do we got? How many games NHL tonight? We got enough, right? Got quite a few on the go. I didn't look this morning.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday. It's a busier slate.
I'm very laser
flirting with
focused on this Flames
11?
matchup tonight. Yeah, I'm very dialed right in on this thing. Let's take a look at some Betway Bets of the day. For our buddies at Betway, get that Betway app. You've got the big weekend in football coming, then a week off, but then the Super Bowl's coming. We're past the halfway mark of the NHL season. Let's go get that Betway app in your phone and play along. Bet the responsible way with Betway as we take a look-see at the bets. There we go. Which you can pick one. Don't matter. St. Louis Blues at Calgary.
Look at this.
I've got this as a bounce back spot for the Flames. Plus 140 for a Flames win by 2 goals or more. Markstrom in net. And the Blues, their offense is not clicking, maybe. We're going to take the Flames minus 1.5 goals. And Yegor Sharangovich, he's gone 1 game without a goal. I think he jumps back in. He had goals in the 2 games previous. Give me an anytime goal for Yegor, a plus 140. So I've got plus on both sides tonight coming from the Blues and Flames.
Yegor Sharangovich. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Edmonton at home, looking to extend their Canadian NHL regular season record. McJay and Dre both scoring is plus 225. It is the Blue Jackets. I like that number. And I'm going to keep playing the Zeri over a point if it's in plus money because he's been doing it more than half the time. That for tonight's contest against the Blues.
Which team?
The St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis Blues. So there you go. Get that Betway app, and there you see it up there. Bet the responsible way with Betway. Wonder how the Betway boys are doing. Made it home safely. Hopefully better travel plans than when they left Nashville, when they were there for the draft. We were sitting around the dinner table. Pinder and I are like, our flight's delayed. This is not good news. We're going to have to, I guess maybe I should check my flight. Oh, it's canceled. And there's no, it's like, we'll have another flight. It's just,
just that flight evaporated. You now don't have a flight home.
We felt like we should let you know that you have no flight anymore.
That flight doesn't exist anymore. You do not have a flight.
Yeah, you paid for it.
What time does it take off? Thank you for calling.
We have to go now. There's no flight. They got a tight turn because they would have gone all the way back to London, and then next week they fly back to Canada. These guys are going to be spun around like they've been at an amusement park for 24 hours. Jet lag all over. Don't know what day it is, what time it is, where they are.
As Frank said, they too were caught in the Pinder vortex this week.
Yes, they were. They have been before. They were in Nashville. They were again in Jasper. Willing combatants.
They are willing combatants. Yeah, they are.
Didn't twist any arms.
I don't know how to characterize it, Retro. I do wish you were there to see peak prime Pinder in its natural state. Proud, not shocked, proud, amazed, horrified, embarrassed.
All the emotions.
I've seen it. But
the later it goes, the more embarrassing it gets. Is typically
you guys talk about 3-4 in the morning, and I'm like, there is this much chance.
Well, as you know, I'm that guy too.
Yes,
it just happened to be one of those weekends. And a lot of time, and to that point, Retro, sometimes you go to an event, it's kind of we're gonna have a shower, gotta be up. We're gonna have a good, you gotta get yourself psyched up for it. It's just a walk in the park for Pinder. I don't know that ever crosses his mind that, I got to get my energy up. I'm going to have to talk to a bunch of people and make sure that
This is how different we are. This takes energy from me doing this. This gives me energy. I am now feeling up as I get to party. That's how I feel good. You're like, oh my God, let's do this. It's the exact opposite. If I'm alone, I have to gear up for that.
He had people just naturally and subconsciously making room for him to dance and do high kicks. They were just back because it's the Pinder thing and it's constantly moving, right? It's like,
Can't sit still. Life's too short.
They'll be talking to somebody and they just So yeah, we had actually gone to Houston that time, and it was good. And we went to see the we went to see the Astros play. Playing music that I've never heard. When he's got the aux, when he's on the jukebox, it's music I've never heard. Ooda, 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 ooda.
Friday we
ooda.
got the dance music out of our system, and then Seahorn was on the DJ duties on Saturday. Did a great job.
Yeah,
good eclectic weekend.
Yeah. What would is that? You call it dance music? What would that be?
Yeah, EDM. Yeah, electric dance music. Yeah. A lot of that. It's just party, right? Like.
Oh yeah.
It's party.
Yeah, that's how I party.
Party.
DoorDash. Playing Flip Cup. It's not sitting around a fire. It's not country music with whiskey. It's like
so. It was there was Flip Cup, beer pong, and what was the other one? What do they call that?
Called Honeycomb, I believe. Honeycomb. Yes.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you explain to this one to Rhett? Because I still don't know that I've got.
Yeah, pretty simple. So essentially, you have you bounce a ping pong ball into a cup, but there's 2 cups and 2 ping pong balls traveling around the table. And if you can catch the cup and ping pong ball in front of you, bang, they got to drink the drink and take one out of the middle. So first bounce in, you can put the cup anywhere on the table. So you try to stack it up behind people so you can plug them up.
I watched it for a couple hours, and
There was people that played it for a couple hours that still don't know what they're doing, to be fair.
I know, because there was times when you would bounce it into the cup and then pass it. And then there were times you would bounce it into the cup and then stack it.
Yeah, you can only move the cup anywhere but one to the left when it's the first time in. It was simple. It just...
And then the last person, because then each cup... So if you get caught or whatever, then you got to take a cup from the middle. And there's, let's say, 30 cups in the middle of the
stack. Keeps getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher as the dad on. So you can bounce it
higher.
Higher.
And then if you're the last one, and I guess the stack of cups and whatever, and you go to bounce it, and they bounce it instead, and then funk, put the last cup in the top of the stack. You have to. The last person caught has to drink what, a cup full of tequila,
whatever it is. Yeah, the loser has to drink a drink.
And I saw on Saturday. You were one of the losers in the.
I was doing great, and then it got passed to me with 1 cup left, and I'm like, "Oh boy,
they jammed you." Yeah, they jammed you.
Yeah,
and you don't lose, and we know that you love winning. So I was surprised.
I was okay to drink another drink, so it really didn't.
What was in that cup? Because it was a full. I was watching
a fizzy RTD, a ready to drink. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people when they lose, oh man, I can't. Okay, what's in this? How am I gonna? Bang! Oot 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 oot.
It's not boring.
DoorDash. Get some DoorDash in your life. Restaurants, groceries, pharmacies, bakeries, flower shops, whatever it is. You know what? You got that DoorDash app. You get in there. You'll be shocked at how many things you can have brought right to your door with DoorDash. You can even, you know what? They've got the, you could double dash with DoorDash.
I like
you
that.
Make that order. You know what? I also need something here. You could get multiple restaurants or stores in the same delivery without additional delivery fees. So maybe Retro, you order some fried chicken. You know what? I'm gonna need some kind of a sweet, maybe some ice cream, maybe cheesecake, maybe some cheesecake. Get back on there. You got your little tick. You have a certain amount of time. Boop, and we got cheesecake coming.
Oh, baby.
I could probably use a bottle of Captain Morgan here too. Maybe what goes better with cheesecake than some spiced rum. Boop.
Add it up. Add it in.
Anyway, it's maybe not so much the double dash with DoorDash, but here's the kicker for you. Promo code Nation25. Nation25 gets you 25% off your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and put promo code Nation25. So with that said, if you were going to do that tonight, maybe you don't feel like cooking, maybe you don't feel like making cheesecake, but you want some. What's on the menu for DoorDash?
2 items. I got one for all you night owls and the other for the rest of us. The Blues are playing the Flames 7:00 tonight at the Scotiabank Saddledome. That is going to be our main course this evening. And then little midnight snack. Incorrect. How about 2:30 in the morning snack? World number 2, Carlos Alcaraz, is taking on Alex Zverev, the 6th seed. Winner goes to the semis of the Aussie Open, the first major of the year. 2:30 in the morning, just for you, Dean.
What gonna be up there watching it?
What?
2:30.
It's on like it's the Olympics. You know what's the Olympics?
Is she that
And it's
big?
like, I can't turn it off. It's handball. I need to see handball. It's for bronze. Oh, this is rhythmic trampoline gymnastics. I can't turn off the. It's all it is.
So will she be up for that? Like stay up or
stays
set
up
an alarm to
to
get up?
midnight and 1, and then she'll PVR the rest and is swearing everyone to silence the rest of it until she can watch it at breakfast. These are marathon matches. These are 5-setters for the men, right? Last night it was Fritz against Djokovic. Fritz was on the ropes early, 16-minute first game. This is going to take forever. Goes right to a tie break. Djokovic destroys him in the tie break, loses the second set. Like, we're talking probably 3-4 hours minimum.
Yeah, Rhett was texting me. He's like, I can't, like, Joker's in a tough spot here.
Took care of business. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No way Fritz is going to beat him.
DoorDash, get you some DoorDash. Promo code Nation25 for 25% off your first order. And maybe you've used that promo code. You know how great DoorDash is. Get some DoorDash in your life. Dash that for the win with DoorDash. Final thoughts. Last time the Blues played the Flames played their worst game of the season. That was, as you said earlier, that was a long time ago. The team feels very different. And it wasn't so much, I don't think it was, like you said, Red, the Blues looked great. In fairness, I'm not sure it was the Blues. I think a lot of teams would have looked very good that night against the Flames. In a way, that was almost kind of a turning point. It wasn't immediate, but we haven't seen a bottom fall out. They've played poorly. We talked about that Chicago game, but they have been far more consistent in terms of effort since that game for sure.
It'll be interesting if they, like I said, I think this whole week, if they don't set it up right and have a big show up and play the way they can tonight, I think it's going to look ugly the rest of the way.
Yeah.
If Huska can get them dialed in, and if they actually are focused, it's a game they can win. And if they've got their eyes on the playoffs, it's probably more of a must win.
I'm betting on a better game. I think we got a close game here. I feel like we'll be gripping the remote with 5 minutes left with like cranking the volume. We're playing for points still here. That would be at least what I'm hoping for as I sit here in the studio. Well, I guess at the Grey Eagle ready to do after.
That's right. I agree. I don't see anything similar to what that game was back in October. But to it is halfway through a 6-gamer. You just played the Oilers and Leafs. For the most part, everybody, I'm guessing, has some sort of travel plans because it's not even one of those tight turns like a Christmas where there's not enough time for guys to get out of town.
10.
Everyone's doing something. And probably some of them are very excited for what they have planned. 3 more just when are you flying? What day do you fly? Oh, where are you staying? Oh yeah, did you get you guys get a PJ for that? Are you
just team up for a jet?
Gotta be good. So if it
10 days in between games, or is it 10? They can't have 10 days off. It must get 5.
They're off Saturday. They do not play again until February 6th in Boston.
Too many.
Too
many. It's too many.
Too many, Trev.
What would you do, Rhett? Looking back at, put yourself a 25-year-old Rhett Warner right in your prime. You're single, making that NHL money, and you got
many
10
days off.
You got 10 days off.
They don't have 10 days off.
I know. That's so but if you did, you would put on a show.
Well, I did both during the All-Star breaks. There were the years where I did nothing, but we only got 2 or 3 days off.
This is new CBA stuff. Yeah. You got to go somewhere.
Is there rationale to why that is?
The players are getting bent over by the owners, and so they asked for little things that the owners would budge on because they wouldn't budge on the big stuff. So they got one guy to a room way earlier in their careers, and they got a week break in the middle of the season for each team.
Because I would wonder, even for the players, that feels like an awfully long break. It's just, where was the genesis of this idea? Where was
I think
the
it's
design?
idiotic. I think there's maybe there was some science behind it, or maybe they're just fishing for more days off, but I'll bet you guys regret it now.
They also got those, 4 mandatory off days a month. There was a bunch of little stuff that the owners bent on, but again, they always take them to the woodshed on the finance stuff because it's billionaires against millionaires.
Like, no matter how much fun you're having, think about it in summer or whatever,
Yeah.
You're done doing just about anything by about day 6 or 7. I've had enough.
And you can't just do nothing. Like, you will be required to play NHL caliber of hockey upon your return. So it's
you probably
not,
take a week and then come back and skate.
Yeah.
To be honest, like that's
they
probably
will.
what it is.
They'll have, but
Some
that's what
captain
it,
skates
like,
or whatever.
Yeah. So then what was it all for?
Yeah.
At the
It's
end
dumb.
of the day.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think from our chair, it's like this would be weird, but 82 games playing, 12 times a month, that wears on you.
But it's
I
but
could
you're
see going
making
to-
it worse, Ryan. You're making it worse
Probably.
by having those days off, because now you have to cram it.
Yeah, I'm not saying get 2 days off. 10 seems like you get a week off. 8 days.
And that's essentially what it is for anyone going to do the all-star stuff, right? They have to go do the press the flesh, kiss the babies, pose for pictures. But yeah, if you're not non-all-star, it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Which
What
is
are we
most
gonna
of the
do?
Flames, by the way.
Yeah.
We should go to Toronto. Let's do an all-star game ourselves. Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's a couple days.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's go to an all-inclusive. Jack wants to rent an RV and drive to Vegas. You guys in for that?
ooh, not with Jack. I've seen how
Seen
he
too much?
operates. I've seen way too
Oh.
much. So
Jack,
that's all.
what'd you do?
So
to
that's
Will?
next week.
So if the Bills were playing, you could watch the Bills.
They play on the
So the
weekends
Flames
now.
play Saturday, then all next week they're off.
And the weekend
And
after.
the following,
Mhm.
and then the following, then again the Tuesday.
Anyway.
Are we taking a week off?
No. A couple days would be a good idea, though.
Long weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like the idea of having 10 days off. That'd be great.
You guys are cracking on it 30 seconds ago. Now you love it.
No, it's just
use a weekend
it's just the right amount of time. It's just the right amount of time. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Jamie McLennan will join us. Where will he be? Will he be in Ottawa? Will he be in Toronto? Will he be on the road? Will he be at his mom's house surrounded by clocks, cuckoo clocks, or whatever it is she's got going up there? And of course, our hot takery from the Blues Flames game that'll take place tonight. Join Ryan and I for Afterburner. We'll be coming to you live from the stage bar at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Always a good time.
Yeah.
If I'm up, I'll call in.
Be great.
If I'm up, I'm not leaving the blackjack table. You guys can
call
do it
in,
yourself.
yeah. All right, everybody. Have yourself a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, buddies.
See you, fellas.